The Atlanta Reign. Let's go over the players they've kept, the new players, and the players that they've lost real fast, so we kind of get a quick overview. Kept: Gator, Hawk, and Kai. Their new players: Nero, Venom, OG, and Ultraviolet. Ultraviolet is not 18 just yet. He actually turns 18 on the 18th of April, weirdly enough. They've lost Pelican, unfortunately, Masa, Edison, and Iris, which really sucks. Edison and Pelican, losing them there, pretty bad. But they've replaced them with Nero and Venom. While I don't think they're strict upgrades, I do think they're going to serve pretty well. We'll get into that in just a moment. But they've kept the best Western tank duo in the game currently. And one of the best Widowmaker players to ever touch the game in Kai, which is awesome. So keeping Gator and Hawk was, I think, #1 priority for the Reign. They're one of the reasons and one of the key reasons they did so well in 2021, and they've continually shown improvement. While I do think it kind of sucks that they're not going to be able to play together technically now because of the only one tank in Overwatch 2, I really have high hopes for them. I really do. Now, looking at the DPS, and like I said, losing Pelican and Edison is a humongous blow to the team. Nero has been a consistently good player over his time in the league. He didn't have a good time on charge. I will say that, and I think a lot of his skill was brought out on shock, surrounded by exceptional players and coaching staff, has been, I think, personally a massive boon to him. And now being what looks like a starter DPS is going to be not only amazing for like his confidence, but also just as a player too. He has been a consistently good player, and I don't see that changing at all. Venom also has joined the team too, formerly named Sigma, by the way. I don't know if he still goes by Sigma in game or anything like that, but Venom is now his name. I know he goes by that on Twitter. So yeah, a bit of an unknown player who has actually previously retired and come back to the game. We've seen that a lot. Weirdly enough, a lot of DPS players, they retire, then come back, retire, then come back. But yeah, there's I don't know, something in Overwatch, man, just keeps bringing you back. So he actually played for O2 Blast back in 2016, like a long time ago, under the name Sigma, of course. He won OD in 2020 in Korea, and he played in Gauntlet in 2020 in North America, which is pretty exceptional, honestly. Playing on ping, never a good thing at all, especially in Overwatch, although it is a game definitely better suited for ping than most others. This guy is more on and off the game than a bulb in a light shop, so I do worry for Venom in that sense. Will he randomly retire again? Will he pull a striker and retire mid-season, step back mid-season, and then come back? Like, is that going to happen with Venom? Not sure. Like I said, he's a relatively unknown player, and has been on some decent teams in the past, but I don't know. With Kai and Nero on the roster too, they seem like the main DPS that they're going to run with. We'll see if Venom actually gets any playtime. He probably will, like I mentioned before. Like, DPS is the one role at the current moment in time, because it has a large pool of heroes, that is chop and change, or more chop and change than tank and support. Now, another team that's been more of a feeder team into the league, like O2 Blast has been, like Runaway has been, American Tornado. They picked up their entire backline. OG is one of them. Fantastic main support player that has a ton of experience in tier 2 tournaments, and high-level tier 2 tournaments at that. I think him replacing someone like Masa, I'd say, man, I'd say that's about even. I think that's an even replacement. Master has been around the scene for a long time and is an extremely stable main support player. He is consistently good. And I think OG can be that in tier 1 as well, in the Overwatch League. He is, because he has been around all these high-level tier 2 events and have been around a lot of players that have made it to the league as well. So having him and bringing him onto the roster of replace Master, I think is good. In a sense, I think it's a one-for-one trade almost. We'll have to see how well he does. Like I said, he's been playing with a lot of teammates that have made it to the league already, and his time has finally come, and it's amazing to see he's going to join the league with his backline partner in Ultraviolet, who does turn 18 on April 1st, not April 18th. I said it wrong. I'm looking at my notes now. It's April 1st. My bad. Reign sticking with NA talent for the most part, which is something that we don't normally see from teams, which is kind of cool. It's like a European team like London Spitfire, and now we're seeing like a more North American team in Atlanta Reign, so that's pretty cool. A good pickup because it already has pre-baked synergy with OG, and Ultraviolet being a pretty good player as well. Not well, actually kind of flashy at some points, honestly. And him being so young too is a lot of time to develop and grow as a player. Now, I do think Overwatch League and Overwatch League teams do tend to favor these younger players that aren't even 18 yet, and they do move into the league and they turn 18 before the league starts. There is kind of a bias, I feel, towards those kind of players, but I think we're moving away from that, especially looking at a lot of the players that have been around the league for a long time and are still exceptional at the game. People like Poco, for example. So picking up the brand new, just about to turn 18 players, I think is a good thing. They have a lot of potential in them, but we're also seeing a trend away from that too. So it's more 50-50 than it's ever been, I think. He's had a lot of success on American Tornado, as well as Redbird Esports, which is another team that has been a feeder team, especially for this year, into the Overwatch League. I think Rain fans have a lot to cheer for this season. Yes, they do lose one of the best players in the league currently, the best DPS in Pelican, but they have they've replaced it with Nero, Venom, Nero and Venom, because they're keeping Kai. So I do think that's a little bit of a downgrade because Pelican is so good, but I have a lot of faith in Nero being a consistently good player. Venom, less so, just because of his past and the way he's kind of retired and unretired, and he's been around the scene for a long time. I have question marks over his head, but I think picking up a complete backline is exceptionally important for Overwatch 2 because the role looks like it's changing a whole bunch. Right, that's it for the Atlanta Reign as a short preview. What do you guys think? Tell me down in the comments and let me know if Atlanta Reign is going to be your favorite team going into 2022. It's definitely a team I'm going to keep my eye on. If I'm going to be honest, they're definitely going to be a top 5. I think looking at the surface of things, keeping the best Western tank duo on the team, I think is going to be a massive, massive thing for them, even though they're not going to be able to play together technically anymore. What do you know? What do you think? Yeah. Anyway, this is the end. Bye.